feel like I'm smiling.
Cornbread.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
I love cooking like that.
Yeah.
If the weather's nice, I'm sure we will.
Good morning. It is 10:01 a.m. on Friday, December 12th, 2025, our last Friday meeting of the year. Good morning, everyone. Let's call this meeting of the Wichita County Commissioners Court to order. Let's jump in. Go to item number 1, which is review and discuss jail maintenance projects and work orders. And while the sheriff prepares to talk about it, I'm going to grab my computer, which I forgot to get.
He's
I
usually
actually
not a
like that
computer
other
guy.
number better.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
I want the 400,000.
Yeah, there was a typo there.
Yeah, it's just a zero. Why would that make a difference? Yeah.
Just move the comma.
Easy.
Auditors don't like moving.
Auditors don't like moving commas.
Yeah, like that, yeah.
Go ahead, Sheriff.
The major things are the network switch from the main hallway. We're still waiting on Cornerstone. They haven't given us yet a delivery or installation date, but we're still waiting on that. The next big thing is the exit gate card readers. 3 of the 4 are not working, and they determined that the wire they pulled from the card reader to the building is bad. So, because they ran new wire, just left it on the ground and tested it, and everything worked fine. So we getting quotes now to rerun about 1,200 feet of wire.
Is that conduit?
It's
that
in
had
conduit.
somewhere?
Oh, is it conduit? I don't
Because
know.
it seems like we've had a lot of
It's
problems.
underground,
with
so I
that
don't,
particular
we
run.
don't know where it would be bad at until we pull it. When we start pulling it out, we might see where how far back that
Yeah,
spot is.
there may be a kink in it or something. I'm
Yeah.
curious if it pulls. you know.
Yeah, 3 of the 4 lines had to be pulled.
Well, if it doesn't pull, we're not.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were
Well,
Field and that's over.
The
Yeah.
runs
Well,
are about
that's what it
the
is.
2 runs
No
are
doubt.
400 feet and one
I got
runs
it.
200 feet.
Under concrete.
I'm not gonna say.
Under concrete, yeah.
Yep. Can't beat that.
So then we got 2 rooftop units that are having problems. The heater's not staying on, so they're working on them to see where the problem is, why they're not staying on. And that was the major issues. Everything else is just regular work orders. Last week they did 49 work orders.
And I guess not Leon, Ricky's getting you all hooked up with the new software stuff.
Yeah, and there's something about the old software. I think we put all our records on the old software that we've been using.
Uh-huh.
So we probably need to talk about how we want to keep that software. So,
Okay.
because I think the new software is better for just running the high dollar stuff that we have to keep track of. Because the old software, we run all the little stuff on.
Yeah.
And, because I don't think we want to put bathroom, plungers and stuff being fixed on the new software, because this
Maybe eventually, but
Yeah.
yes, I'll agree to start with the big
rooftop
stuff.
units, the refrigerator units and things like that,
Where we're having
water
to
heaters.
track annual maintenance and stuff.
Yeah. So everything else is running good?
Okay. Any questions, comments on jail maintenance projects and work orders?
Keep me in the loop on that conduit issue.
I will.
The wire issue.
No.
I think you should try to go pull it yourself.
Been there,
Alright.
done that. I don't need any more t-shirts, thank you.
That's why I think you ought to go do it. Maybe you can save us some money.
Item number 2, receive status report on salaries and overtime. Wilmer sent this at 4:54 yesterday afternoon. Before we get into that, it's also, so Sheriff, it looks like everyone's kind of consistent, except we're seeing a few more marshal service days on here. And Collin County's completely gone now.
Completely gone for now, yeah. On the 287G, which is if we encounter illegals, on traffic stops and stuff. So this week we arrested 2 on traffic stops. And the marshals were up here anyway on Wednesday to talk to us about billing and everything. So on those guys, when they come into custody, they have 72 hours to pick them up, and they're actually federal custody. So we can bill them for however long they're in our custody. And then, so there'll be another little trickle down effect. We have to billing, once
What-
we get some billing figured out.
What happens after 72 hours?
They have to pick them up within 72 hours. They will come get them.
What if they don't?
Well, then that's no problem. Yeah, if they don't have a state charger, we have to cut them loose.
Has there been any issue with them not picking them
No,
up?
they usually here the next day to get them.
Do they have a housing facility anywhere around here, brother?
Anston,
Anson.
Anson is the nearest, yeah, and then Fort Worth.
Curious. But, so right now, if you stop somebody on a traffic stop, there's illegals in the vehicle, we do go ahead and hold them,
Yes, but we
like we
can
did
make,
30 years ago.
yeah, we hold them under that, cause look, we got 10, and this might be something better for you. We got 10 who are now certified to do the ICE detainers. So they notify us, and then they give them yes or no, the final answer, so we can sign off on the detainer. And I may be wrong on 72 hours. They come get them after 72 hours, but technically we can hold them because they're federal hold.
Yes.
Yeah, so if they don't come get them 72 hours, we still hold them and keep billing them for them.
Okay.
But their goal is to get them within 72 hours.
Okay.
And my question's a little more technical on that other end. If somebody stops somebody on, it's not one of your registered officers that has that ICE
They can call one of them
credentials,
over.
can they call them over?
Yeah.
They don't have to let them go because they're not the one stopped.
No,
They
we-
can call somebody.
Yeah, they call, we got it where we at least have 2 on every card. So if someone's off, someone should still be on.
Good.
What's your staffing look like, Sheriff?
Well, we started 4 this week in the jail, and we were full in the jail. The 8 that we started last month, they were off at training on the 30th was their last day, so December 1st was the first full day that they counted on the worksheet. So our next payroll sheet, we should see the differences coming in. Yeah, so this payroll, we had 2,044 hours overtime. But we also had 870 hours of that was sick or vacation that had to be covered.
We got a lot of pent up demand for folks to take those
This
days.
is a tough time of the year to run a 24/7 operation.
Well, a lot of people getting maximum their vacation time because in the past, when we were short, they take a vacation day, because they worked so many hours, it would never come off their books. So now we're starting to see them roll off the
Are
books.
y'all
so.
fully integrated into the new time system and everything?
We're working towards it.
Okay, there.
We are, but they're working out some kinks.
My guys are struggling. Did my foreman come talk to you this morning?
No, I think he came to the office and Debbie talked to me.
I'd send him to your office. I guess he didn't go over there.
I think I was the one that was
Is
struggling
that's
last time.
something IT has to do, isn't it, Mick? Set the parameters?
I don't know.
The old system was giving them a mandatory 30-minute lunch and clocking them out and back in, where the new one is having them do that. So if they're out and everybody's eating lunch on the side of the road, then it's not,
Just,
they're not
all
able.
we
to-
did was send a
I should
letter.
be able to set that here in a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, ours is automatic.
Just communicate with Wilmer and Matt, I bet they can get it. There's enough functionality now, though, there's much we couldn't get set up if just communicating.
Well,
Yeah, it has the basic same functionality as Top was,
Yeah.
just working out some things here and there.
Yeah, I had Wilmer on speed dial last week, so appreciate all the help you
A lot of
gave me.
people have. He's taking it in stride, so.
Y'all still looking?
I'm good.
Any questions on salaries and overtime? Okay. Thank you, Wilmer. Go to review and discuss regular bills. That was sent by Matt at 4:37 yesterday. And it is a bunch of stuff.
You're finally paying out the ambulance out of the ARPA funds
All right.
to the Metro Hospital District. They're supposed to take delivery of that next Thursday or next Wednesday.
Margaret, I see a handful of AMR transport costs that look like doing those monthly at this point.
Well,
or-
I do them as soon as they send them in on this, with the exception of, I was out, I can't remember the exact day they sent these and I did them, but I was out in Dallas yesterday at an appointment, so I haven't had a chance to look at that email. I saw the email, but I haven't had a chance to go through it. When they say they have stuff from January 25, that doesn't sound right.
Okay.
So I'll double check and make sure that I'm sending denials to the right address, but honestly, I haven't had many denials for them. There's only been a couple that haven't been in jail and we don't pay for it through the healthcare, so.
Based on the dates here, it looks like, yeah, they're probably sending them over on a bi-weekly or.
Well, prior to this though, I hadn't received one in quite a while,
Yeah.
so I don't know what their method is, but I haven't received them before this, and I would say at least a couple months.
Okay.
The biggest things on the general operating are gonna be your workers' comp payment, your quarterly payment to TAC for Q4, and then $170,000, that was $75,000 roughly. And then your, quarterly payment for Tyler Technologies for the Tyler Odyssey Justice System of $170,000. So that really makes up the whole general operating list. Well, more than half of it.
Tyler standalone's about 56,000 a month.
Well, I mean, Tyler Justice, he has $170,000 a quarter. It's pretty expensive for software. Judge, I'm gonna reach out to Danny at, I lost it, for the water project, to see if we can get some more bills in for that, cause
Okay.
we haven't had one in quite a while.
I need to,
12 and a half months left.
and they haven't broke ground on the pump station.
Yeah.
And that was supposed to be started in June, I believe,
Mm-hmm.
so.
Where is that pump station, Jeff? Do you know?
It's right there off of 369, very close to Riley.
That
and
little road
area.
Oh, it's gonna be up, so where the source, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
What's the little road name southwest of the racetrack?
Isn't it,
Right there on
isn't that
369.
Riley's? That cuts
No,
through?
Riley's.
Riley's.
What's the
Riley's
first one, Barry, if
Riley's
you're
north
going,
of it.
if you're going north on
Yeah,
three
It goes
sixty-nine?
right by the old racetrack. right?
Yeah, and that old house you sit
Kill.
on the corner, that was
Kill.
old farmhouse.
Oh, you're talking about going
K-I-L-T.
back west.
K-E-I-L.
Oh, it's Kiel.
Okay,
Okay.
going back west, though.
So-
not
Yeah, going
east.
west.
And it goes from there all the way east back to,
Behind Gilmore's, doesn't it?
yeah, it goes back behind, it goes over to Wellington Lane.
Yeah, 'cause that's city limits going the other way.
Rogers.
Rogers, yeah.
No, it's Rogers.
West of 369.
The pump station's going on Rogers,
Okay, Rogers, so
Rogers,
you're going
that's what
west.
it is, yeah.
and there's no dirt work done. Nothing done.
And I've not gotten an update on what I know they were,
The pipeline's coming along well. They're
Yeah,
they're probably ahead of schedule,
Yeah, they got a bunch of it in.
but we gotta have a pump station. I've heard
Yeah.
it's been an equipment issue, but that equipment issue, I think think if everything goes great, that's a 6-month build, but we're waiting here a long time.
Mm-hmm.
What,
I don't
pushing
want, I don't want it to be a 12-month build.
Right.
are we on budget, Jeff, do you know?
Mhm.
Pretty much.
Yeah, and Matt, those would be some contractors that need to turn in tickets.
Mm-hmm. And they were coming in there for a bit. We got 4 tickets there within 2 or 3 months, and now they just stopped.
Top.
And we were at 1.2 that we had spent out, and we still had another 1.3 to give them.
Okay.
Jury payments from y'all side still going well with the new,
Yeah.
new deal and?
Yeah, the only issue that we ran into was having to reissue debit cards and reactivate them, and that hasn't been an issue. Maybe at some point we'll turn that into elections, but not quite ready to pull the trigger on that yet.
Yeah.
If a person is selected for jury duty, can you pick several donations or only one
You can
donation?
pick several.
There's
Oh, okay.
several on there. 'Cause I
Veterans,
just did
child
this.
welfare.
No, he was
trauma
asking, can you
victims.
break it up into multiple?
Oh.
Yes.
Yes, you can, yeah.
Okay.
There's 3 options, yeah.
$7.28 here,
I was gonna say.
$9.74
I
here.
see that creating a bookkeeping nightmare, but, yeah, there's
Somebody else
several-
does it,
There's
I
several
think.
options, cause I just did mine about a week ago.
Several people split it.
Yeah, it's done in the Tyler system,
So if they choose veterans, where does that go?
back directly to the Veterans Department. It offsets their expense account as a contract.
Okay, that's
So
what we
taking
got.
their budget.
Yeah, it is an actual revenue line that goes in.
No,
there,
it's
isn't
a
it? It's
contract
not just
expense, yeah.
It just, it helps to fund the office.
Yeah,
Just never been able to figure out why they
Another
would want a guy like me on a jury.
The question a couple of years back is what,
Been the big
they were
question.
getting physical checks back from,
I think it
They
would
weren't
be
supposed to, the
interesting.
treasurer accidentally gave them the check instead of deposit, and then that caused them a little bit confusion, but it goes back.
goes back to
Did their
offset.
budget.
yeah, now it's EFT, goes back to the bank account and then is applied against their budget.
Because that's not a required office.
Correct.
That's a one that we choose to have, so.
Yeah.
Everyone good on bills? Any questions? All right, let's go to item number 4, discussion regarding options for motor fuel procurement in 2026. I wanted us to have this discussion. Probably not a bad idea to have this before every year, just to make sure everything's working well. But there was a legislative change last year that affected us, and I kind of slipped under the radar for a while. So the legislature passed a bill that became law and effective on July 1st of 2025 that exempts gasoline and diesel fuel motor fuel taxes that the state charges. It exempts counties from those taxes. That's 20 cents a gallon tax. So when we became aware of this, reached out to the auditor's office, and Matt and Margaret both did some behind the scenes looking on how that was affecting us and how we were gonna need to move forward. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong, but you can either ask for the exemption at the front end on the purchase side, or ask the comptroller's office for a refund on the back end if the tax is assessed.
So on that, Judge,
Yeah,
when you request that, how do we track that?
Well, so you have an issue there, so I'm not gonna try to steal your thunder,
no,
Judge,
go for
but
it.
for the city of Wichita Falls, you can't track it because we're just paying basically a maintenance rate, like a corporate billing.
We don't get a gallons charge.
We do, but it is encompassed of the gallon charge and then what they mark it up. So we wouldn't be able to claim that back. But anytime we use like expressway, or the sheriff's office goes on it and charges it to Shell or Wets or to the debit cards or anything like that, that could be claimed back from the comptroller's office.
Okay, so, but the bulk of ours is that maintenance, right? That, on that
Mhm.
particular, on the chargeback?
$263,000 in the last 12 months.
Okay.
So, City of Wichita Falls, when they buy their fuel, they're exempted from that tax, just the
Nope.
counties.
Just counties.
Really?
So,
Is the city handling red diesel?
they have
No,
they
one
have-
type of diesel, I don't,
No, it's regular diesel.
regular diesel.
So you're paying tax on it?
Yes.
Can I-
So this bring, oh, yeah, go ahead.
Off what he said, just listen a little bit. I think we've talked a little bit about P cards. We would like to go to that P card and maybe use it at that Exxon by the LEC, cause if we're not getting our money back from the city, then there's no reason to use city, but the city's always slow, and the Exxon's just so convenient right there by
It's-
the LEC.
We need to set that up, cause he has a reduced price rate that
Mhm.
Exxon does. If you set it up with him beforehand, but generally speaking, he's one of the highest spots in town at his 3 stores. But FedEx buys all their fuel there, and they will sell it at a cheaper price if you have an account set up. They'll charge everything and then bill you at a cheaper rate.
Was law enforcement gasoline tax-free?
No.
It's not. That's
It-
not.
it
part
would
of
be
the
It
deal.
would be if we
Back
did
under
it this
this.
way, yeah.
That's
But
what I
no,
was
it's-
saying, though, but boy, that could be a sizable amount of money.
Yeah.
My
So-
assumption is gonna be that we're gonna have to fill out a contract that Melvin's gonna say you can't sign in order for us to have an account with you.
Well,
That's
there-
generally what happens with
Well,
everybody.
he's, generally speaking, like right now, he's $3.49 a gallon on diesel. I'm just throwing out a hypothetical. And you can buy it at QT for $2.99. That's a huge difference.
Right.
$2.99, yeah.
Yeah, I think
I'm
we've
just
had
saying,
some.
$2.99 versus
vendors
$3.49.
Well, we don't even have to say that, we could go QT, if we had those P cards, we could go anywhere,
Right.
but you
Which-
could track your gas.
But
up.
I
Right, and that's
think-
on us.
But then you're gonna be paying
We haven't,
$3.49.
I've developed the purchasing policy, but I just haven't gotten a chance to
The
bring it to
problem
the
is
court.
if you have a card that you can go anywhere,
Yeah.
then you fall back onto whoever's using that card's gonna go wherever they want.
Well,
And
and
if
then
they're
come
paying
back to
50
us,
cents more a gallon than they should be,
yeah.
just right down the road, then I see a problem with it
Well,
for the
it'd be
tax.
up to us to monitor that and stay on the deputy till you gotta go here or here, cause it's the cheapest gas.
And Judge, how does that work? So the 2 options you were talking, the first option then, how does that one work?
It would be simply like we do our tax exempt status for other purchases somewhere, where you go up to before you even purchase it, you would go in and ask to have them take that tax off, which I don't think, unless they are
Wouldn't
market
understand
set up, I
how
don't think
convenience
there's
store
gonna be a
cards
lot of
are
No
understanding.
clerk is gonna know how to do that.
So that's why I don't really think that's even an option, it's gonna have to be.
So
on the
we're gonna
back
be
end.
the option of apply to,
Comptroller.
That's
yeah,
right.
do that.
Um,
Which it's been, I mean, that's the way it was always done, all our off-road stuff.
Yeah.
Was
Now-
always done that way, and then they changed it, because now
Yeah.
you can't, you know, like on my red diesel, I buy, or if I don't buy red diesel, I can't ask for it back, that's not available anymore, unless they've changed that.
Well,
They did for a long time, then all of a sudden they cut it off and you couldn't do it anymore.
but like what Will's saying, Judge, if we had purchase cards that allowed us, we just have to make sure we're trying to do the smart thing and buying it at the right places. But then Matt could easily track where those purchases, we'd know to fill out the form
The
more
way that
correctly.
would, I mean, because the P cards work, and step in if I misspeak here, but they would go, they'd purchase it, they'd get their receipt, and then they would turn that in, which would show the number of gallons, which
And
then the auditor's office would put together and put in for the comptroller's refund.
Right.
As far as, are we making sure we're getting a good rate, yeah, that's gonna be incumbent upon the department head or the elected official to be monitoring whether folks are getting their gas from and make sure that that point is reiterated to them. Because I know that largely we're using the city of Wichita Falls for a long time because we're getting a good reduced rate. After running the math through on what we are getting with them, I think that's completely, that competitive advantage is gone now because of the tax difference.
Plus it's slow.
Well, and so, again, that's where, okay, if there's no advantage economically to doing it, and that's not where we would choose to go for any other reason, then, yeah, that's why we're having this discussion, is to make sure everybody knows what are our
I
options.
think I'm the only precinct that's using the city.
Yeah.
I think you
Yeah.
are.
So what else exempt? Law enforcement?
County thing,
County,
County liquor, okay, good.
And
So would the court then be interested in having a separate object code for gas so we can easily track it? But then we would also need to discuss how often are we going to submit reimbursement?
Ooh, one more line to look at in spreadsheet.
what do you need,
But
Matt,
everything's in
can
the
say that again?
456, it's
I'm not,
impossible
It,
to
it
separate.
put gas as a standalone line item, which is probably
Yeah.
smart. If you're gonna try to get reimbursement for tax off of it, it'd be best to have it
Yeah.
in one.
Because
well, is
right
that the
now-
form asked for gas and that form asked for diesel and off-road diesel as well? I mean, you have to fill out the gallonage for each?
I have not seen the form, so I'm not sure, Commissioner.
And then what are they reimbursing you? Just, it doesn't matter what you paid, they're just giving you 20 cents per gallon.
Whatever
So
the state-
the volume
yeah,
is
whatever
what
the
we're
state
after.
tax is.
Yes, sir.
See, mine's good. I'd buy everything in my precinct bar.
You do have that advantage. I do think, Matt, that, I mean, if that actually makes your job easier, it's certainly better from the standpoint of tracking it, and would become another object of discussion at budget meetings, where we've got someone they may not be aware that they're a little higher than everybody else.
Yeah,
and knows
Mark
how to
could go to QT and be,
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
QT would be awesome for us.
It would be.
And I mean, if we were interested, to the point of the agreement we were talking about earlier, if
Chili dog. wasn't it?
if there are entities out there that would like to set up an agreement with us and offer us a reduced rate, we can certainly try to set those up, but,
And Jeff had somebody that had an agreement with us now, I don't know if he gave it to us cheaper, but I know this is going way back, but Nico used to go to that Tiger Mart. And he
Right.
didn't even have, because we didn't have any cards back then.
right,
He just got the ticket and brought it to us and we paid them like we do Expressway Conoco and all that. So some places
would do that.
might do that.
But on the cards, the only thing, and this may have greatly changed, we used WEX cards, and it was very good from a tracking standpoint and give us a spreadsheet and everything. But what we did encounter from time to time is the operator would punch in something incorrectly or maybe swipe too many times, maybe the card was, and it would shut us out immediately.
It asks for a pin and there is no pin.
And
That's
then
what the
we're
problem is.
stuck right there waiting to call somebody. Now, that technology could be a lot better now, I don't know, but
No, it's still a problem.
it's still a problem.
They ask, at least with juvenile, I know they say that it asks for a pin. Cruz always calls me and says, what's the pin? There's not one. You just have to hit like the green
Enter.
button to continue.
Again, enter,
There's no pins on any of it.
so right now juvenile does the SO have
Yes,
a
they
WEX
do have, they have
account?
a shell card and a Valero card.
But
which
we have a
goes
pin
through
on
this.
ours.
Do what?
We have a pin on
Do you have
ours.
pins on yours? They don't on juveniles.
Is it a discounted rate? for
No,
those
it's whatever
people?
the punch.
They give us a small discount on the final bill,
On the
like it
bill,
might be
yeah.
like the bill's $230, but you owe $228.
Right.
So it's a tiny discount
Yes,
if
it's
there is
very
one.
tiny. And they are also the absolute worst, and you can't be late, and they would send a bill where you couldn't possibly get it to court and pay it, so those have all been set up online.
Pay
So
on
I get a
card.
notification when they're due, and I just go pay them before I get Robin's receipts, cause if we don't, it's a $50 to a $75 late fee.
So it sounds like P cards are the way to go
Yes,
from this standpoint.
but there's been a delay by your county auditor in getting the purchase.
That county auditor.
policy manual to you.
He messes up every
Well,
detail.
Y'all keeping you on.
It's been drafted for 3
Red
months.
diesel.
It's
Yeah,
just
I've read
not-
it.
clear and,
Not come to y'all for.
Well, and I mean,
No.
and that's fine, I mean, as long as,
Red
we're talking about for
That's
twenty
all we're
twenty-six.
at.
we buy our gas up at Ralph's.
That's like in 2
Which
weeks,
makes
so.
sense.
Yeah. You can do a lot in 2 weeks, Marty.
Now, you don't want a bunch of it.
No,
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, do y'all see any reason to not encourage all of our departments to head in that direction, depending on what the
I think that's a
No,
smart
if it
move.
saves money.
Probably we need to be, that's a big
And
deal.
now, on the P cards, the WEX card, there were 2 functions that we done. Each person had a number, okay? So you plug in your number, when you stick your card in, it records that operator number, and then you put in the mileage of the vehicle.
Yeah, we wouldn't, cause that's way too much work, let's just do P cards, then it works just
P
like that.
cards are just like a debit
Debit
card.
card.
Okay.
And then receipts would come in
And that helps us out a lot too, because when our transport units go somewhere, and sometimes we use the county card, cause their name's not on the county cards, especially with hotels, they won't let them use their card, they have to charge them on a personal
But-
card.
So what's the safeguard on Billy transport guys off Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday and decides to use the P card on his Saturday
That's where
trip
we come in
forward?
and
yeah,
monitor.
the boss,
That's gonna be in the
the
policy.
receipts go through the, I mean, Jeff, if you see one of your guys come in, and it's got a receipt, that's ultimately on the department head or the elected official to be
Like if
checking what their
he
receipts
used his
are.
card to buy gas going fishing, yeah, he probably wouldn't work for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but
Yeah.
just imagine what you're looking at your receipts. I get
Well,
a lot
well,
of
there's a
receipts from
difference.
Expressway. Heck, I wouldn't know whether that guy took his car up there or got our pickup up there. How would you ever know
It's gonna
that?
be a huge amount of receipts.
Right.
Huge amount of receipts,
That's, to me,
especially from.
a very difficult process if there's no way to,
Well,
Right,
you could
because
look at
we
this
won't
time
know,
clock.
so the department's gonna have to be. the
you
one
could,
to-
but if he did it normal business hours, but he did it, filled up his car instead of the work truck, then we're,
There's no way to tell.
No,
Yeah.
there's no
That
way
is
to tell.
a lot of room right there for
and,
theft.
and as soon as they realize after a few months that how we actually have the inability to
Make
keep
them
up
write
with
the
it.
mileage and the unit number on the receipt, and that way you can track it. If this
That's-
truck that should be getting 20 miles to the gallon's only getting 5 miles to the gallon, then you got
Well,
a
the
problem.
unit number, I can see that, Mark, and we do mark the unit numbers, but how do you ever go back and look at the mileage if you're not recording the mileage?
You
Well,
make them
make
put that
the-
on the receipt.
We
Huh?
have,
Make your staff put it on the
Yeah.
receipt when they
Yeah.
turn it in.
Yeah, I know, but then Margaret gets the receipt and she's got all my expressway tickets in here. How do I ever find the second to the last
Nobody's
time I
gonna
used?
log that information in for you.
No, it's not being
so
logged. It
if
won't
we
be.
have a question on ours, of course, all our vehicles have trackers, so we can see where they're at when they're supposed to be getting gas, if that car's there or not. If there's a question comes up. Cause our tracking devices are good for 365 days.
And can I put on my P card, am I able to also get jerky and a Coke?
Yep.
I am.
There's not-
You
See,
can.
my
It's
Wex
not
card,
gonna
my
happen.
Wex
Or a
card
dog,
kept
sure.
that from happening there.
But it should show up as a different purchase.
Yes.
So
Yeah, it'll show
we'd
up
see
on
that
this
when we
receipt
see
as
the
that.
receipt.
So I mean,
People have done that on accident,
right.
and then they
That'll
pay
be
the treasurer back for
You-
that.
there
I
will
mean-
be some monitoring of the receipts going on, but I mean,
That'll go to your foreman to track all
Yeah.
that, so when they get the receipts in, they're gonna have to reconcile it to the mileage and.
tell them Merry Christmas.
That's
Like
all
we're all
we
And
do.
I'm not worried about it being a great concern. I don't see it being.
But
I
there's
know we
always a
had plenty
potential.
of that happen, where, even with the Wex card, where they fill up their own vehicle and lie about the mileage, so.
Yeah, an audit every once in a while, controls a bunch of that, just routinely pull one and check it, and, yeah, that's. Well,
Well, that sounds like that's the
a big
best way to
deal.
capture all of our stuff, though. I mean, if we're gonna really apply for all that rebate,
Yeah, I mean, it's quite a bit of money if we can get all that back.
I think that by the time we end, probably talking $40,000-$50,000 potentially, based on just
which is
rough
better,
math.
twice what we're doing now, right? I mean, didn't you say that reimbursement today that we do was in the neighborhood of 25 to 30?
Oh, and I was saying, I was looking at the original numbers, but that didn't include everybody.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
there's no reimbursement happening now, that was my
Oh,
initial
okay,
look at
okay.
a smaller batch of
Okay.
fuel.
I think it'd make my staff happy, cause they don't like waiting in line.
Yeah.
And ours is typically, outside of a gas ticket, ours is bulk fuel at the yard, a diesel, and you can't get gas at the yard. But we do have a gas pickup that goes down to the station and fills up.
Well, if your
We're
gas
red,
pickup
clear
changes
diesel, what we are.
very much at all compared to what you're spending now to what it is after them cars, well, you might have a problem.
So right now, nothing, obviously, nothing has changed today with this discussion, but, looks like that's where we're headed. I guess you'll bring when the purchasing policy's done, the P cards will be part of that, or is
I
the
can
P
do
card
it one
policy?
time. The P card policy's done as well, and there's a P card policy and a P card authorization form, and then there's the purchasing policy.
Okay.
And so if we can get that on the 9th,
January?
yep.
But those P cards are in everybody's pockets.
Yes, sir.
And
We
With
have it-
individual names on them.
Right, we haven't issued them for the sheriff's office, for juvenile, for adult probation, for a few other departments, because right now we only have 25,000 max.
On the P card?
P card,
Yeah,
yeah.
we definitely have to read that.
So we have 141,000 that is on all of our debit cards. So the plan would be take away the debit cards, the department debit cards, and only have the P card, and then increase the monthly amount to 125. And that way, there's enough for the sheriff for transport, training, and their regular debit card. There's enough for the CDA for any travels they have to do, and
And
all
they
that good
still, so if they're out of town moving a inmate, then the hotel also goes on that card?
It could,
Yes,
yes,
and they
sir.
shouldn't have any trouble, cause their name will be on it,
Yeah.
that's been an issue a lot
with the
lately.
debit cards, yeah.
And I know that I get asked when, so Jack will use a card on instance, I guess, if they're out of pocket. Doesn't happen a lot, but if we didn't turn in that ticket, it eventually, there is a check and balance that y'all are
Yeah,
doing
they come looking
to
for
saying,
your-
I don't
it's on
have
your
that
card.
invoice
We
on this
can-
charge on the bill.
Literally determine whose card was used.
Yep.
There was an instance where there was 3 things purchased from a jewelry store, and we found out whose card it was, found that it was fraud, and got the charges removed. So it's pretty easy to use and to track down things.
Cause you could have a fraudulent deal outside our circle.
Oh, yeah.
All the time,
Which
yeah.
seems to happen more
Yeah.
often than not
The
anymore.
bank got hacked in February, so that's why some of that came across this summer.
Well, the easier, whatever system we use, the easier for them to oversee it and operate it is worth a lot.
Yeah.
Instead of creating some monster that, you know, you've gotta spend a lot of time on.
Mhm.
Easier just to use, the more it'll get used.
Yeah.
That's just always the way it works.
Okay. All right. That cover everything on y'all's end?
Yep.
Any other questions or want comments, anything on motor fuel discussion? Or motor fuel procurement? All right. It is 10:38 and court is adjourned. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Very good.
See